'cause you're powerful when your name is called.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Reclaiming My Life.
Yes.
Look, y'all, my special guest today, y'all gonna have to give me a second because I'm talking about CEO and founder of Diabetic Cuisine Spices and CEO founder of Your Best Lifestyle Fitness and Nutrition. Also, certified diabetes reversal specialist,
Right.
celebrity personal chef to the iconic Les Brown, three-time author and exercise therapist. This man has been seen on ABC, Fox, NBC, CBS, and more. I'm talking about none other than Mr. Terrance Hutchinson.
Hey,
Come on now.
appreciate you.
Yes, y'all, that was just a little bit. Y'all see, take a break. Take a break.
Take a break. Take a break. That was great.
Yes,
I
yes.
appreciate you.
Of course.
Thank
So
you for
what
having
more
me.
can you tell us?
When we was talking off screen, I'm helping people behind the scenes in their health and wellness. I just started doing consulting work with this company called 310 Nutrition, and they have a wellness community with over 1.5 million people. So they brought me in through LinkedIn to help with their community. And what I'm seeing, so many people are going through a lot of health issues, and they need help. They need consultation outside of what their primary positions are saying. You're talking about holistic health, like what else can we do to heal naturally versus the modern medicine. There's so many side effects with modern medicine today, that can cause more damage or more heartache, more pain. So, this coaching with them behind the scenes online is like, wow, it makes me feel so grateful about my health and how it motivates me to keep going.
Yeah.
Hit the gym, drink the water, you know, eat this, don't eat that, that type of thing. And when you hear it every day, you start to focus closely on your own health and well-being. And also, I just launched my fourth book called Fit Over 40, Easy Ways to Get a Solid Core over the age of 40, right? And so that's going pretty well. And you already know about BBR and what we do with that.
And I know, but let our viewers know.
Well, BBR Indie Films, we decided to put together independent film festival for independent filmmakers from around the country. We just had our 11th event on Wednesday at Studio Movie Grill in Marietta. We had people fly out from LA, Chicago, New York, just to showcase their talent and also be a celebrity guest panelist. And the information is so impactful. So if you are an independent filmmaker, you are an actor, actress, maybe you do hair, makeup, you're a barber, you do producing, or even music, because music is an important part of movies. So you ever watch a movie and then the music get louder, it gets intense, it's to highlight the scene. So somebody wrote that.
That's right.
Somebody sung that record. And so because we do music and films, so we're able to sync everything up. And right now we're working with NBC, trying to get some things going with NBC right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and Butter's new record just dropped. We just finished a new video called Thankful. We showed that. And
Let me take a pause, y'all. He said Butter. Now Butter is his wife, his partner, his rock, his everything, right?
Right.
So he's saying we and he's saying BBR.
yeah, we are Butter, yeah.
Yes, it's all in sync with his beautiful
Yeah.
wife. She was on the show maybe a month or so ago, Butter B Rocker, y'all. She just launched her new album, Thankful.
Right.
So, hey, he's on here. He's celebrating himself. He's celebrating his wife. And that's what partners do. So y'all check out Butter B Rocker as well and her new album, Thankful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So
Yes.
so that is another arm of it. I have the podcast, Your Best Lifestyles Health and Wellness Podcast, and I interview people through my platform from all over the world. I don't promote it. People find me online and say, "Hey, I want to come over. I want to come online and chat with you." Whether it's they have a book, they have a business, maybe it's health and wellness, things like that. They're trying to promote something, and that's doing pretty well. Sometimes I do like 3 interviews a day.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so we have that, and I got away from the traditional training with clients, trading time for money.
Yes.
And now what I wanted to talk about, you mentioned Les Brown. One of the main thing I learned from Mr. Brown is that during COVID, you can wake up in your pajamas, turn the camera on, and make money.
Yes, you better know it.
I watched him have on Mickey Mouse pajamas on, a shirt and a tie and a sweater.
Yes.
And make a crap load of money.
Yes.
And I was like, so I'm fixing his food and stuff like that. I was like, oh, we got to tap into this.
Yes. Look, yeah, I hope y'all catching all this, right? Because like I said, I know I said a mouthful in the beginning, but this man right here, I mean, you do so much. You've
Right.
talked about the podcast, you're talking about nutritionists, you're talking about a chef. I mean, you do so much, and then I want to go back, if you would, when we're talking about the nutritionist and reversing diabetes and all,
Yeah.
you have an outstanding, extraordinary testimony of how, you had to reclaim your life from health challenges and how you became so fit. And now, you're teaching other people. So if you would, just take us back a little bit. I think it was in 2010 when, when you were in the hospital. If you would just share that testimony with us, please.
Well, to go back further than that, I moved here from New York in 2006 after my first marriage. I was divorced. So you're talking about, I'm 39 years old. I'm moving in with my mother in Atlanta. So I had to get rid of properties, business, money, all that stuff like that. So I haven't really lived with my mother since I was 16. So now you're telling me I got to get rid of all these different things. I'm feeling like a failure. So I get here, 2006, and all of a sudden I hit the ground running. I'm partying. Wherever the party was, that's where I was at. Miami, Alabama, Kentucky, it didn't matter. I was out of here, right? And so I'm drinking, I'm partying. I work for the state of Georgia, really fast-paced environment, managing a whole bunch of people, stressful. So over time, I was killing myself slowly. Super stressed, not eating properly. And when you're stressed, your cortisol hormone starts to spike. So you start to crave certain foods that make you feel better, dopamine. So I stayed on the south side of town off Tara Boulevard. So they had
teaching too, y'all.
Yeah. There was a Burger King right on that corner. And one of the things that used to make me feel better was a double Whopper with cheese, large onion rings, and strawberry shake. I used to do that like 3 times a week. And then later on, I would drink and I would go to the bar. It was, so 4 years of that. We're down in Miami. I'm in the pool. We had a pool party and I started to feel really weird. So I had blurry vision, brain fog. I started losing weight, frequent urination, extreme weight loss, cotton mouth. I said, we need to go. So from Atlanta to Miami and back and forth, it's probably like 13 hours, something like that. It took us like over 24 hours to get back home because they had to keep pulling over for me to use the bathroom. So I'm calling and I say, hey, I got to come in. So they said, yeah, come in the next day. So as soon as I went to my doctor's office, I fell out right in the lobby.
Wow.
Because my body had already depleted itself. I was done. So they call the ambulance. Listen, if you ever get on the ambulance ride, I went 2 traffic lights to go to the doctor, to my hospital, $1,500 just to go around the corner.
Wow.
Okay, so that's a little tidbit. And so I'm laying in the ICU. They're poking me. I got IVs. They're feeding me crushed ice because I couldn't taste anything. So for 3.5 days, I'm in ICU, and I'm getting stronger. And you can hear people praying for their loved ones on that floor. You can hear the beep, 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 and I'm saying, Lord, get me out of here. I'm gonna get it together.
Yes.
So I went from 242 pounds to like 200 pounds in 2 days.
Wow.
Extreme weight loss. Diabetes is no joke, right? And when I came out, I had to go get glasses and all these different tests. So, but I was able to walk that hallway for what I'm saying, get stronger. And I said, I'm not going to die in here. Ain't no way in the world. And the girl I was dating at the time, I said, bring my sneakers, bring my sweatsuit. I'm getting up out of here. And the crazy thing about it is when I was able to eat, the first meal that they gave me was processed eggs, grits, bacon, a large banana, yogurt, a Diet Mountain Dew. All these, at the time I was hungry, so I ate everything.
Right, right.
Right. But when I started to educate myself and stuff, all those foods break down in your system as sugar.
You're right.
I'm like, why would y'all give me that?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But the whole idea is they want you to maintain diabetes. They never tell you about reversal. You know what I'm saying? So once I got out of the hospital, started working hard, got educated on disease, I was able to reverse my diabetes within 1 year. So
praise God.
yeah.
Praise
So
God.
for now, it's 2020, 15 years. I've been no medication, no metformin, no nothing.
Yes. Won't he
You know what
do
I'm
it?
saying? Oh yeah.
Yes. But you have to do it. A lot of times we pray and we ask God to do something, but we're not putting forth any effort. So putting in the work.
Right.
Yes, putting in the work. So do you teach others?
Yeah. And one thing when I'm teaching or consulting, one thing I'm realizing, it doesn't matter what culture you're in. Like diabetes is a big business. 33 million people are pre-diabetic.
Yes.
88 million and growing are diagnosed as type 2, according to the World Health Organization. Diabetes is a $486 billion a year business. The average diabetic sufferer is going to spend around $18,000 per year off maintenance.
Yes.
So and I'm like, what? So when I teach people that, one thing I'm realizing is this. People are not willing to make the necessary sacrifices when it comes down to their nutrition and their diet. It's a wound up thing because just to say if I'm African American, right? Don't think that you can eat all your favorite traditional foods and pop a metformin or shoot up and think you're going to be all right. You're going to have to really cut back, swap things out.
Absolutely.
Soul food is great, but soul food can be dangerous over time.
Moderation. Yes.
But it doesn't matter what culture or ethnic group I'm consulting with. They all have their traditional foods that breaks down into sugar and sodium, things like that.
Absolutely.
So it's not just us.
Yes.
And people need to make the necessary sacrifices for them to reverse it. And that's the hardest thing. People don't want to sacrifice.
Absolutely.
They don't want to train. They don't want to stop drinking. They don't want to stop smoking. They don't want to keep their stress down. And a lot of times people are super stressed because of career, maybe COVID, maybe what's going on in the world, war, and maybe it's a spouse or kids. And a lot of times stress happens. It's not the what, it's the who.
Come on.
Look out. And it's not what's stressing you, it's you stressing you. And you're too stressed, you may run to the liquor store and get you some drinks. You may smoke, and that increases the appetite. And now you got to reward the stress and the appetite with something either sugary, salty, something that's going to feed the dopamine.
Yes.
As a diabetic or not, increase calories, empty calories, increase carbohydrates. So now you're in a cycle of increasing your risks.
Yes. Look, y'all, he's teaching. Look, this is a class right here, but Look, Terrance, let them know how can they connect with you, to get this valuable information.
Yeah, sure. You can connect with me at www.yourbestlifestyles.com. You go straight there and fill out the forms, connect. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it. That's it.
That's it. All my socials is all on the website.
Okay, sounds great. And let me tell you what I got from this. You got to change your mindset if you want to live.
Yeah.
All right. Terrance, thank you so much for being here
appreciate you.
today.
Thank you so much for having
my
me.
life.
Appreciate it.
I tell ya,
Awesome.
look, I'm impressed, y'all.
Mhm.
I'm excited about what you're doing for others,
Mhm.
So look, I know this resonated with a lot of you because unfortunately, I know a lot of people who are suffering from diabetes.
Yeah.
So connect with Mr. Terrance Hutchinson.
For
And
sure.
we'll be right back
Yes.
with more of Reclaiming My Life.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
My mother is one of the strongest people I know. It wasn't necessarily because she was in love, but really again, she's looking for a way to escape the abuse. We unfortunately became homeless.
The doctor said we both almost died.
So I suffered. I suffered in silence.
From there on, she became my momager. We started traveling all over the world.
And nearly 8 years later, I'm sitting here as my mom's business partner.
Then we started something called Quartet Unstoppable.
If she says she's gonna do it, she does it.
It seems like everything you touch starts to go.
Everybody that was raised around her is doing good in life.
I began to really admire and respect her.
I was instantly motivated. I'm talking about a full-blown production, lights, camera, action. I'm so thankful that Claudia and I crossed paths.
Claudia always go over and beyond.
But for someone who's been hurt so much, she only want to help you.
My mom always finds a way to count everything joy.
All right, y'all. We are back with Reclaiming My Life. And look, my second guest, y'all, I'm so excited to have her here. Look, I've never heard anything as amazing as her testimony and the things that she did to overcome the challenges and the trauma that she had going on in her life, y'all. This is amazing. So look, y'all, help me welcome the hair nutritionist, Miss Kellesia Sharay.
Hey.
Yes. Welcome, beautiful.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Look, right now, when I read your story, y'all, I'm telling y'all, all the things that she has grown, you went through some things, some trauma, some challenges, some childhood trauma, and as an adult, you had to find a way to, reverse those negative emotions. And, you did some amazing things that I've never heard of. So, you know what? This history, I'm telling you. So we're going to talk about it. But if you would, just give us a backstory, of some of the things that you had to go through, or not had to go through, of course, but some of the things you unfortunately went through, and how you overcame and reclaimed.
Okay, so the list is a little long, so we're gonna condense some things.
Okay.
Feeling like I didn't matter and I was a mistake growing up, finding out that I was kind of birthed into the world in an unorthodox way, child of an affair. So I was always mistreated because of that. Mother and, other family members, unfortunately, because of the circumstances of how I was brought into the world. So that was always an issue of me being mistreated. But I would be raised in a cult from the age of 9. And I just got out of the cult about 8 years ago. So from the age of 9, so that was there for like 35 years.
Wow.
And that was oppressive, as well as me already, going through childhood abuse.
Yeah.
So then I would be raised in a cult. Of course, I didn't know it was a cult, but the abuse, that I would have to suffer over the years would land me with depression. I didn't know it was a depression. I didn't know it was a such thing as depression.
Right.
It would take me going on a personal development journey about 9 years ago to figure out, what was going on with me. I just, to me, just didn't have the drive. My happiness was making other people happy. I've been doing hair for close to 30 years, so I just wanted everybody to be beautiful, to feel amazing, and I didn't want nobody feeling like me. And you wouldn't have known that because I was suffering in silence so everyone else could be comfortable.
Wow, my God. Ooh, now that was a nutshell.
Yeah.
You know what? It was a nutshell, but it was just everything that we talk about in the purpose of this platform. I heard you say that you were suffering in silence.
Yeah.
You were always trying to make other people happy, make other people feel good. The things that you wanted, you were given, but you weren't receiving.
Absolutely.
Wow. Wow. So how did you start reclaiming to get to where you are today, to sit here with me to inspire someone else to reclaim their lives?
So it would take me at some point there was information given to me that the organization that I grew up in was a cult. I had never heard of a cult. I didn't know anything about it, a cult. So I started to research what a cult was, and I'm like, whoa, they have every last list of things that you need to look out for as far as a cult is concerned. So doing that journey of me finding out like this is a cult. It caused me to go back down. I was already depressed, but it was even worse because my whole entire life had been taken from me. Like we had a rigid schedule. So I could not attend high school activities. They were begging my mother. They was like, this girl needs to be in track, cheerleader, very athletic, things like that. I could not participate in because of the rigid cult schedule. Wow. So when I found out that it was a cult and I began to pull away from it, just the thought process of everything that I missed, I really was in trouble. And so I would just pray and try to seek the Lord because how they told us to believe was different from the church. I had grown up in a church from 1 to 8 years old, but we were pulled out of there into their doctrine, and they were very much against the church. So I would have to try to seek God. It was like a deprogramming was going on because I'm like everything they lied about, they had to lie about a lot of things. So any way I would, I was feeling down, I wouldn't come out my room, didn't want to go anywhere. I was really in trouble, and I didn't like the thoughts that I was having. And I just tell everybody God led me to the dirt. Wow. I had never known anything about farming, growing any food, didn't grow up around that, had never gardened. Anything like that, but I wanted to find things that brought me joy, had made me happy, and I always found joy and beauty. Whether it was through people making women beautiful, whether or not it was through driving through subdivisions and looking at well manicured yards, going to farmers markets. I always loved healthy eating, things like that. So I began to try to plant. But it started with flowers. And then when I saw what flowers could do, I'm like, I wonder if I could do this with food. So I would begin to take things to the backyard and start just trying to plant and grow, because what I found out when I would be out there planting and growing for 8 or 9 hours, I felt amazing. I didn't want to come in. I mean, whatever I felt like before I went outside, I had a surge of energy. I just felt amazing. So I wanted to continuously to feel that feeling.
Yes.
So I spent all my time outside.
Wow. So now you grew 78 different fruits and vegetables.
Yes, ma'am.
A variety of herbs and fruit trees.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes. And I tell everybody when I woke up, I had that much food back there because I remember the day I felt like I woke up and I felt free. And I looked around and I'm like, where did all this food come from? Literally, because I was trying to water it all and I was getting tired from watering it. And that's when I realized, oh my God, like I had food everywhere.
Yeah. So you said being out there now, that's what brought you joy.
Yeah.
So by the time, you grew 78 different fruits and vegetables, y'all, that's why she's smiling today. She got so much joy.
Yeah, I do.
So much joy. So you have some books with you. So what are your books about?
So I was going through, I began to go through a divorce the last 2 years. So they would take the garden from me. The judge ordered the property to be sold. So that was my escape from anything going on with me. I would love to garden. So I no longer had the garden these past 2 years. But I wanted to break free of the oppressive relationship that I was in, because even though I got out of the cult, I had a cult minded significant other at that time. So my first book would be How to Find Peace in a World Full of Narcissists. Because I didn't know what narcissism was, but I had a client and she had ran into a couple of individuals in my circle and she said, "Girl, have you ever heard of narcissists?" I'm like, "No." So when I researched it, I'm like, OMG.
You never heard of it, but you've been living with it.
Yeah. And one of my favorite chapters in here is How to Find Peace is to Leave. And so that's what I had to do. So this was my journey of leaving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, y'all, I'm getting this one. I'm going to bless somebody with it.
Yeah. And my second book would be the children's book, The Life of a Seed. And that's because this was literally the journey that I went through growing the corn. My corn got up to be about 9 to 10 feet tall.
Wow.
And I would find out that the corn's environment, things that you grow with the corn to attract beneficial pests and ward off harmful pests. It was a natural process. And then me trying to figure out why the corn wasn't growing and what was going on. So to me, I felt like I was in my little girl stage because I was healing the traumatized little girl in me when I was growing the food. So I wrote my first children's book called A Life of a Seed, and it has actual pictures of the real corn, the corn seeds, and just the journey through the corn. So this was my second book because I felt like I finally healed that traumatized little girl.
Praise God.
So that was my second.
Praise God. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my third one would be Eating in Rhythm.
Yes, I
kept
want
going.
you to talk about them. I'm
Right.
proud of you. Congratulations.
And I
on
kept
all
going
of
because
this.
I didn't have the garden anymore. So God was like, we're not going to get back in that space because you don't have a physical garden. Everything I taught you is already in you.
Yes.
So you take these lessons and you write. Because there's no more physical garden, I just been writing. So this is Eating in Rhythm because I found out just seasonal eating, because I grew seasonal. I didn't believe in forcing anything to grow outside of its normal season. So it would just trouble me to go in a grocery store and I would see fruit and vegetables. They were being forced to grow through these new age gardening techniques, making something grow outside of its natural season. And I'm like, well, what harm is it causing to the body? So I began to do little challenges, and I would eat something that didn't grow in that natural season. And what happened? I didn't feel good. Lethargic, inflammation, mucus buildup. Like I was like, something's going on. But then when I ate seasonal, like I grew, oh yeah, I can run around Stone Mountain.
Come on now.
So that would be my third one.
Look, and I tell you, this book, Becoming the Garden's Keeper, I love it. It's a memoir of growth, loss, and renewal. Talk to us about it.
Yes, I finally got enough courage to write my biography, to tell my story. It talks about the abuse throughout my childhood. It talks about the cult, and just the healing journey that the reason why the healing journey began and the result of it. And I am healed, and I'm here to share my story with the world because they too can be healed, because everything you need to grow is already in you, just like the seed.
Y'all, I tell you, I got emotional. Woo! My God, that's a word right there. That's a word. That's a message. And again, that's why we're here, to give others hope. I mean, y'all, did y'all hear everything she'd been through? Your childhood trauma. You were in a cult. And, we all know how that's controlling, and how it can be so manipulative and so much more. A lot of people may not be familiar with the cult. But I'm going to tell you, get this book, Becoming the Garden's Keeper. This is amazing. You know what? Thank you for sharing with us. And I know you have, so many more books, y'all. Everything she needs is within her. So let me see some of these books here, because I want y'all to get these books. Companion Garden for the Soul, 7 Plants You Must Have in Your Garden, What Not to Plant Together, Cultivating Connections, The Inner Garden, y'all, a coloring and journaling journey through seasons of self-care. Adults, for you and for children. Get it for the children as well. I love this. So please let them know how they can connect with you.
Okay, my website is at Kellesia Sharay. Instagram, Shimmer and Shine _group. And Shimmer is spelled SHEMMER and Shine is SHYNE.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Y'all, until next week, I'll see y'all then. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed. And remember, everything you need is already inside of you to grow. Be blessed.